Hi everyone, I hope you're all keeping fantastically well and enjoying this, gorgeous sunny weather. I hope it's the same where you are. It's absolutely lovely here. Bit muggy though. It's very, very warm, but really, really lovely. So tonight we're going to go Macca Mad. I got this new album, Paul McCartney's newest album. It's been out a few weeks, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. So many great songs on here. It's a really kind of sentimental record, I think, kind of looking back at his life and career and the Beatles and everything. And just some of the songs that just really stand out. So I thought what we do is we pick two of my favourite songs from the record, really, really beautiful songs that we can do quite a lot with, and I'll teach you how to play them basically, and we'll have loads of fun doing. So hi guys, hope you're doing well. Up there, warmish Yorkshire. It's better than coldish Yorkshire, right? Hi Jamie. Hi Karen. Fantastic. Hi Fran. Good to see you all. Fantastic. So, yeah, as I say, we're going to go Macca crazy tonight. It's going to be loads of fun. And it's really affected kind of the music that I listen to. So I've been listening to a lot of Paul McCartney's solo stuff, which has been fun as well recently. So that's been good. Let's make sure we bring everyone on. Hope you're all doing well. Oh, by the way, if you downloaded the sheets before today, there was a slight mistake on the lyrics. Nothing to worry about. You can still play the songs through. It still works well. But there was just a mistake on the chorus of Days We Left Behind. So the new version corrected went up today. So you might be all right anyway. But just to warn you, if your lyrics don't exactly match the one I've got here, you can always play along tonight and download the lyrics later. Oh, Janie says it's freezing up in Scotland. Oh no, I'll try and push some of this warm weather up your way. hopefully it'll make its way up there soon. So that's what we've got tonight. Oh, thanks Sonia. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you. What have we got? What have we got coming up? Just a reminder that next Wednesday, rather than our fortnightly Wednesday, we're having a special event in the evening on the 1st of July. How can I do this? And the computer's cover it. There we go. Yes. I look better with a big thing in front of my face anyway. There we go. So every first Wednesday, every first Wednesday of the month, we're going to have our new learnukulele.com club, which I'm really excited about, Learn Ukulele Club. And there will be stickers. So keep an eye out for them this summer, where we're all going to get together. We're going to do some not quite open mic, so you guys get to share some video performances, some Ask Q&A. And then we're going to do a monthly subject, which is going to be one of the subjects that you guys suggest, which is going to be exciting. So we're taking suggestions now over what you might like to study, and then I'll do a Facebook poll at some point, or I'll twist Karen's arm and see if she'll do a poll for me. Sorry, Karen, if you're up for it, and then we'll get that going 1st of July. So that's coming up. Oh yeah, congratulations to the Scots, that great win at the World Cup. Absolutely fantastic. I know it's meant to be a great rivalry between England and Scotland, but we were cheering you on, Janie. You'd be glad to hear. Me and Sharon were both chuffed to hear that you guys got that victory. Fantastic. Okay, right, let's have a look at what we've got going tonight. Remember, in the front of your sheets, you've got the explanation of my musical colours, which is just a way of giving personality to chords. Every chord in every key has 7 main chords. They're called the diatonic chords that we can play with. Think of them like a palette that an artist will use to paint with. And each of those chords has a personality. So the one chord, say we're in the key of C, like our first song will be tonight. C would be the one chord. It would be a major chord, and it's a bright, happy sounding chord because it's where we leave home from and come back to, and it's a nice, happy place. Then notice that the second, the third and the sixth chords in any key are all minor chords, giving a touch of melancholy, touch of sadness, wistfulness. And even those, within those, they have different feels. So the 2 chord really wants to go to the 5 chord. It's just what happens, which is why we have purple to red. The 3 chord is the saddest sounding chord in any key. The 4 chord, the reason that's orange is it often becomes between 1 and 5, which you'll see tonight. So it's kind of almost like a halfway house. I call that the change chord. And then we've got the melancholy minor, the relative minor, and that just adds a touch of melancholy to pieces of music. Generally, we don't really get the diminished chords unless we're doing kind of jazzy stuff, but we do have a song next week which has a really lovely diminished chord in, which I'm really, really looking forward to. So this first song that we've got is in the key of C. So C is our 1 chord, and then we go D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, and then that weird B diminished, which isn't coming up tonight. So you can start using these colours right from the off to analyse what's going on. I'll come back to the intro in a minute, but for instance, if you look at this verse, all that we've got going on is we've got C. Now that's the most common chord to start a piece of music with, the home chord, because it that's where we want to return to. It's where we're setting off from. And in this case, we have a C. Then we have the next most common chord, G or G7 in this key. That's the 5 chord, C, D, E, F, G. And that creates a sense of tension. It makes you want to go back to the 1 chord, basically. Thanks, Karen, by the way. That's great. So 1 and 5, the 2 most common chords in any music. Generally, in between those, you probably have the 4 chord, like we have down here, the F chord. But notice we've got a melancholy minor, which really does, in this song, kind of add a touch of kind of sadness and wistfulness to the lyrics, which is really nice. And then we have a G rather than a G7 at the end, which is not quite as tense, hence the colour's that little bit lighter than a G7. So the verses, we would play C, G7, A minor. Feel the melancholy of that chord, isn't it lovely? G, and again C, G7. I'm going to show you a picking pattern to this one in a minute. A minor and G. Let's try one of those verses. If you want to strum along to this one, I'm just using a really standard calypso strum, which works really well with guitar songs like this. That's just down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up. Or as I like to think about it as walk, running, and running, walk, running, and running. You can just strum up and down, that would be absolutely fine as long as you're playing in time. That's not a problem as well. So if I wanted to do a verse, you can get an idea of how that works. Let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking back, a white and black, reminders of my past. Smoky bars and cheap guitars, but nothing built to last. Really lovely. So quite straightforward chords in the verses, which is a really lovely thing to do. The reason I think he uses a G chord at the end rather than a G7 is because the chorus also starts on a G chord, so it makes sense to kind of flow seamlessly into the chorus. And that's quite unusual because normally when we get a new section, it tends to be the relative minor, which would be A minor in this case, and that does happen on the bridge. Or it tends to be the 4 chord, because remember I call that the change chord. It creates a sense of change. So it's quite unusual. We stay on the G chord as we go into the chorus, but it makes a really nice segue. And then notice here we've got this really lovely thing happening. It's basically the whole chorus is just a journey back to 1. So we've got G, the 5 chord, creating the tension. It wants to go back to 1, but rather than going there straight away, we go down the garden path, which is our 4 chord, and then we're back to 1. So 5, 4, 1. It creates a sense of journey. And then the next line is almost identical. We've just got a little bit more melancholy in there on the way back. So maybe we stood in a puddle. I don't know. So 5, and then we go to the A minor, and then the 4 and 1. But we still got that journey back. And then at the end, we've got 5, 4, no 1 chord. And you might think, oh, well, it's not resolved. But as soon as it goes to another verse, we've got the C chord, and you get it, which is lovely. Di was a little bit late. She's practicing wink and a smile. That's what we did in our last one, wasn't it, Kanikapila? I love that song, isn't it? Great song, Di. Absolutely brilliant. Welcome, by the way. So let's have a go at one of those choruses so you can hear how that sounds. So we'll go for this first chorus up here on the left. Remember, if your lyrics don't match exactly, don't worry, the updated ones are available for you. But just the chords are all right, so just strum along with me. I'll stay on close cam. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing stays the same. Nothing comes to mind. No one can erase the days we left behind. Now, each chorus has a slightly different ending in this one, and rather than writing it out on the sheets, I thought it's easier just to show you on the sheets over here. Oh no, it's not this one, it's the next one, sorry. I'm being daft, it's the next song. Ignore everything I said in the last 30 seconds. We're absolutely fine. So this one just ends with a G, and then 2 Fs. Now, if you want to add a little bit of interest to those chords, just to kind of spice them up a bit of sugar and spice, what we can do is we can use suspended chords. That's just where we add an extra note to a chord. And if you want to do it on the G chord, the easiest suspended chords to do are a G sus4. Don't worry about the name, but just know that if you put your little finger down here on the 3rd fret of the A string, the one nearest the floor, you get this nice G sus chord. G, G sus4. And if I do kind of the opposite and I take my finger off the A string, lifting this 2nd finger up, I get a G sus2. So when you hit that G, feel free to kind of have a little mess about with adding those chords. And then on the F, what I like to do is just add this C note on and off. It just sounds really sweet. You can use your 3rd finger or your little finger. So that would sound like this. So basically that 2nd F, I like to add it on. It sounds really nice. I'll show you what I mean. I'll just do the last line of the chorus so you can hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4. The days we left behind. And then G. F. And then I might add my little finger. And that's quite nice because it sets you up for the next verse as well, where you have that lovely C chord, which is nice. It kind of segues into that, which is really nice. Fantastic. So simple so far. Nothing too crazy on this one. When we go to the bridge, again, this is where I love the kind of colour system so much. I know I'm banging on about it a lot, but it's really helped me in terms of thinking about music. When we go to the bridge, you can see those darker colours at the start of it. Can you see? We've had lots of reds and orange and yellow, quite bright colours. Then we have these muted colours in the bridge. And that's because McCartney wants to take us somewhere a little bit darker, a little bit sadder. So we have all minor chords. Not only that, we have the saddest minor chord, the 3 chord. In any key, that 3 chord is the saddest sounding. It just has a kind of, yeah, a real deep melancholy to it. And that's why I colour it a deep blue. We kind of think about the blues and sadness, right? It kind of makes me think about that lovely Joni Mitchell album as well, that she did blue. Notice as well that the bridge starts with an A minor. That's a relative minor of C. Now, don't sweat the theory, but if you're interested, the relative minor key So the key of A minor has all the same notes in it as the keys of C major. That's why we call it the relative minor. And quite often we get that as a chord starting a new section. So if you start a new section in a song and you don't know what the chord is, try the 6 chord or the 4 chord, and it will generally be one or the other. Here we've got A minor, really, really sweet, like this. Then we go to E minor, a bit of a tricky change because you've got to go from this one up here to this down here. But I always think if you get that first finger on first and then you're going up the stairs, A minor, E minor, and you just go between the 2 twice. And then it brightens up with a C major, G, an F, and then a G. So we're back to the standard chords there. Oh, I noticed I got one of my colours wrong. I'm so sorry. I'll get that fixed. Can you see that F chord at the end? It should be an orange, right? Because it's the change chord. Sorry, I've coloured it green like the one above. That's my bad. I'll get that fixed. Okay, so just imagine that F down there is orange. Doesn't really matter. It's the right chord, but I just like to get things kind of right in terms of colours and stuff. So let's try one of those bridges. You can have this page up if you've got it downloaded at home. Remember, all the sheets free to download. Kanikapila is always going to be free, so you can always get those whenever you want to. And we're looking at this bit up here if you want to use this page where we go to the A minor. Okay, let's put that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. We met a 4 Flynn road and wrote a secret code, never to be spoken. I stand by what I said, the promise that I made will never be broken. Isn't that lovely? And then we're into another chorus. Nothing stays the same. I love this chorus. Nothing comes to mind. No one can erase the days we left behind. Yeah, lovely, isn't it? Fantastic. So that's basically all the parts that we need. Let's just look at a couple of the bells and whistles with this song. First of all, we've got an unusual chord in the intro. That's why I didn't look at it straight away. And it was interesting. Karen sent me a video today. Thanks, Karen, by the way. It's a really cool video of Paul McCartney talking about one of the chords that he starts another song on the album with. In fact, the first song on the album, which is As You Lie There, which is a really cool song. It's quite upbeat and rocky. And I know Paul McCartney likes what he calls his wacky chords, as he calls them in his Instagram post. And this is kind of just like a variation of C. It just gives it a bit more sophistication in the intro. The brilliant thing for us is C6 is the easiest chord on the ukulele. Literally no fingers. So when we do this intro, we've got a normal C, G7, C6, just take all your fingers off and then we'll put that back on. So C, G7, C6 and G7. Okay. So that's the intro, which is nice and simple, a lovely way to go into the song. And then the outro, we get this is kind of like a classic Macca outro. It's almost the same as the intro. We get C, G7, wacky Macca. And then these next chords right at the end, see that G, G, A minor, G, they're one beat each. So you literally just strum down once. G, G, A minor, G, C. You might recognise that. It's been used in tons of songs as an ending. So G, G, A minor, G, C. Okay. I'll play that last chorus for you just so you can hear it, and I'll come in on close cam. Okay, here we go. 2, 3, 4. Nothing stays the same. No one needs to cry. No one is to blame. The days we left behind. The days we left behind. G7, C6. Here we go. Just a really sweet ending, isn't it? Should we try that together? Let's try that last chorus and then we'll piece it all together. Okay, 1, 2. Oh, come on, close. Come. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing stays the same. No one needs to cry. No one is to blame. The days we left behind. The days we left behind. G7, C6, and then here we go. G, G, A minor, G, C. Yeah, sweet, isn't it? Really, really cool. Now, if you want to, you can do a really cool picking pattern on this one, which sounds really lovely. And good news, this is one of those songs where this is like one of the easiest picking patterns you can do. But it sounds gorgeous. And I did think about trying some more complex picking patterns, but this one just works so well on ukulele. I thought, why kind of make it more complicated than it has to be. So we've got this lovely diagram. Karen did this diagram. It's fab, isn't it? So we've got this inside-outside pattern. Basically, what we're doing is we're picking the C string. I like to use my thumb. Then the E string. I like to use my index finger. Then the G string. Thumb again. And whichever finger feels most comfortable, but up on the A string. Remember, we call this our inside-outside pattern because we hit the 2 inside strings and then the 2 outside strings. Inside, outside, inside, outside. The reason I like to use these fingers with the thumb is it just creates this nice kind of cycle, which is really lovely. You can do it this way if you prefer to use your middle 2 fingers on the inside 2 strings. Thumb and ring finger. That's more what we call Pima's style picking, where every finger has a string. But I like to keep it simple. I'll do that again. C string, E string, G string, A string. Inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside. Okay, and we're going to do that twice per chord. Isn't that lovely? That's a little intro there. I'm playing C, G7, C6, G7. Try it for me if you like. C, C6. Sorry, G7. Now C6 and G and C, G7, C6 and G. And you can do that all the way through the song. It sounds really terrific. The way I like to do it, which I think sounds really pretty, is kind of use it as a build-up. So what I'm going to do, and you don't have to do exactly the same as me, you can do whatever you want, just have fun with this, but I'm going to finger pick right up to the second chorus. Okay, so that'll be intro, verse 1, chorus, verse 2. And then this second chorus, I'm going to start strumming. And you'll hear it creates like this nice dynamism, which is lovely. And then I'm going to keep strumming for that second chorus and the bridge. I'll keep strumming for this chorus. When I get down to here, verse 3, I like to finger pick again. And I just keep finger picking to the outro. It just sounds really, really sweet. So again, this is just what I'm going to do. You don't have to match, but I'm going to finger pick the first half of the song until I get to the second chorus. And then I'm going to strum that second chorus down to here, and then finger pick. So it's like finger picking, strumming, finger picking, which would be nice. Oh, no worries, Karen. I know you're working on that that finger picking book. Karen's working on a finger picking book at the moment, which would be really, really great. So we can kind of, a bit like those scale reference sheets we use sometimes, we could just drop it in and go, page 7, we're going to use this pattern, which would be really great. Okay, let's have a look then. I think that's it. Let's try it. Let's try the whole thing. We might do this twice because it's such a gorgeous song. Remember, if you've got these sheets downloaded, completely free, link in description and comments, you can have either page up. I'll have the page up with the lyrics so you can follow along. Okay, and let's give it a go. I'm just going to put my chair up a minute. I think I need to buy a new chair. It's rubbish, isn't it? It gets gradually lower. If you want to join in with the picking with me, it's going to be about this timing. It's quite quick. Inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside. Okay, let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, G7, C6, G7. Okay. Looking back at white and black, reminders of my past. Smoky bars and cheap guitars, but nothing built to last. Nothing stays the same. Nothing comes to mind. No one can erase the days we left behind. See the boys of Dungeon Lane among the Mersey shore. Some of them will feel the pain, but some were meant for more. Nothing stays the same. No one needs to cry. Nothing can reclaim the days we left behind. Here's our bridge. We met at Forthland Road and wrote a secret code, never to be spoken. I stand by what I said, the promise that I made will never be broken. Nothing stays the same. Nothing comes to mind. No one can erase the days we left behind. In the skies, the skylarks rise above the sounds of war. Since the day I knew they'd stay with me forevermore. Last chorus. Nothing stays the same. No one needs to cry. No one is to blame. The days we left behind. The days we left behind. G7, C6, and GG, A minor, G, C to finish. Fantastic. Isn't that a great song? I say that every single song, don't I? But maybe that's because we only pick the good ones, right? I just think it's really great. I think it's a absolutely return to form for Macca. Really great song. Let's try that one more time then. Just before we do, I completely forgot to say to look at my notes and tell you a little bit about this song. If you're interested, this is a real look back at his youth. So he talks about the places he used to hang out as a child. The Dungeon Lane, the Boys of Dungeon Lane, which eventually became the title of the album. And Forflin Road, that's where Paul McCartney's teenage home was, basically. So Paul McCartney lived on Forflin Road as a teenager, and that's where he did lots of songwriting with John Lennon and playing guitar with George Harrison. So he's kind of looking back at his past, and I think the secret code's referring to the Beatles as well. So really sweet song, isn't it? There's even a song on this album that talks about Liverpool and has Ringo on drums, which is almost like a partial reunion of the Beatles, isn't it? 50% of them. Okay, one more time then, guys, and then we'll have a look at our second song, and I'll tell you about a couple of things happening. Okay, remember, you don't have to do the picking pattern. Okay. You can do the nice strumming. Yeah, exactly, Janie. Janie is saying life's too short to pick bad songs. Exactly. Let's stick to the good ones. Okay, here we go then. So from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking back at white and black, reminders of the past. Smoky bars and cheap guitars, but nothing built to last. Nothing stays the same. Nothing comes to mind. No one can erase the days we left behind. See the boys of Dungeon Lane among the Mersey shore. Some of them will feel the pain, but some were meant for more. Nothing stays the same. No one needs to cry. Nothing can reclaim the days we left behind. We met at Forflin Roads and wrote a secret code, never to be spoken. I stand by what I said, the promise that I made will never be broken. Nothing stays the same. Nothing comes to mind. No one can erase the days we left behind. In the skies, the skylarks rise above the sounds of war. Since the day I knew they'd stay with me forevermore. Nothing stays the same. No one needs to cry. No one is to blame. The days we left behind. The days we left behind. Yeah, what a cool song, hey? Really sweet, isn't it? Don't worry, Laura, if they found the picking pattern too fast. What I would suggest is just you could do it half the speed just to get used to it. Let me just bring the sheets up so you could hear what that would sound like. So rather than picking twice per measure, you could just pick once. So rather than, you could do. But like any picking pattern, what I would say the best thing to do would just be to practice it at a really slow tempo. I know obviously you can't do that live at Kanikapila, but then gradually increase that tempo a little bit each day. Remember, you can watch these back anytime, so have a practice that, Laura, and everyone else with that picking pattern, and then perhaps come back to the video in a few weeks' time and see if you've managed to kind of get it under your fingers and see if you can do it there, which is great. Gail's just saying, what key does Paul play it in? I've got a weird feeling he plays it in B flat. Let me find out, because I've got the original somewhere on my phone. I will have a look for you. I think he uses a capo on his guitar. Let me just have a look. And I will let you know. It is, here we go. So he plays it on guitar. Yeah, I thought so. Oh, actually, he's using a capo at the 4th fret. Oh, so he is playing it. I think it's in the key of C. I think he is doing it in the key of C with the capo on the 4th fret. Because I think, would that be G? Hang on a sec. G sharp, A, H. Oh, that would actually put it into B, I think. I think the original's in B, which makes sense because C's quite a high pitch to sing in, and he does sing at the top of his range. So I think, yeah, I think he plays it in B. So the shapes from G major on guitar with a capo on the 4th fret. It's awkward, isn't it, when people use capos? And B's a horrible key to play on the ukulele as well. So that's why I've chosen the key of C to keep it simple. But it's one of the brilliant things about learning to use the colours and the number system, because you can kind of have an experiment and see what works for you guys. Sonia said it'd be nice to have for beginners for Inside Out, where X is the number of strings as an extra measure. Oh, so you can kind of see it laid out over two measures. Yeah, that makes sense, Sonia. Yeah, we can do that. Absolutely. Absolutely. No worries. I'm not a very patient person, Laura. You wouldn't believe it as a teacher, but honestly, I'm not. I'm patient with other people, but not very patient myself. Great. Thanks, Pam. Pam's saying she really enjoys having a picking pattern to work on in Kanikapila. Di was saying, not sure why. I'll need to explore. This song makes me feel sad. That's really interesting, right? Because I think it's a mix of two things. I think it's that inclusion of the A minor. It definitely adds a sadness to the chords that are being played. If I play it as an F chord, even though F is only one note away from A minor, right? Here's A minor, here's F, A minor, F. That note makes all the difference. If I was to play those verses with C, G7, F, and G, everything feels that bit more upbeat just because of this one chord. Even if I play it slowly, this chord lightens it up. But it's that A minor. Da 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 da. Isn't it lovely? And I think that's also why Paul's included it on that chorus. Da 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 da. It just introduces that touch of melancholy. But I do think as well, Di, just out of interest, I do think as well it's a little bit the words, because the words are looking back at his childhood, and he sings them with this kind of lamenting melody. I think it's not just the chords. I think that adds a touch of sadness to it as well. I think any of those kind of retrospective chords, songs where you're kind of looking back at your childhood, they naturally have that kind of melancholy about them, don't they? Even if you had a happy childhood, because then you're kind of looking back with melancholy at how happy you were. It's, just one of those things. Oh, no worries, Anthony. Good to have you here, mate. Late finish at the library, another school visit and a music event. Keep it up. Keep those libraries open. Good man, good man. Sonia said, for example, which one first, if that makes any sense. Let me just have a look at that, Sonia, just to make sure that I get it. Ba, 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 ba. I think I wasn't quite sure. It's me, not you, Sonia. But I wasn't quite sure of your question. If anyone can help me out, or if you want to reword it, Sonia. Sometimes it's just the word into a question, isn't it? And I'm not quite getting it. But let me see if I can find that picking pattern. Oh, is it like the numbers that might help with kind of the beats? Just in case it is, for this one, basically, you do it round and round, and the numbers, the order would be inside, outside, inside, outside, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and so twice for that one. Okay, always start in a measure on that C string. All right. Hope that helps. So if it didn't make sense on you, just let me know, and I'll do my best to explain. Okay, just before we look at our next one, just a reminder that we're back to regular Mondays now, so we will be back next week as well. That's an old one, Fairport Convention. If anyone's interested, you could probably guess what we're going to do next week. In fact, actually, let's have a bit of fun since we're halfway through. See if you can guess what kind of songs we're going to look at next week. I've been quite literal about it, but just see if you could guess. You could maybe even try and guess the songs, which would be fun once we've got the theme. Anthony's just asking, did I get the music videos for the music event? Yeah, absolutely. I got them, the Beatles one and everything, Anthony. So yeah, absolutely superb. So Anthony volunteers at his local library, and the reason I love that, I mean, we all love our libraries, right? So I used to be a librarian, and I know how important they are. And I kind of think of libraries as a place of community and celebration rather than the old-fashioned way. So having music in libraries, I think, is amazing. And I always wanted to do a tour of libraries. I always thought that'd be fun, doing like a tour playing my ukulele or whatever. There was here's a good joke for you all. Okay, and then I promise we'll get on with the next song. A man walks into a library and says, can I have a cod and chips, please? And the lady looks really confused, the librarian, and says, sir, this is a library. And he says, oh, sorry, can I have a cod and chips, please? The oldies are the best, right? Sorry, guys. It's a good librarian's joke. Okay, right. Just whilst I get the next page, man walks into a library, cuts off the bottom of his trousers and gives it to the librarian. She says, well, that's a turn up for the books. I'm here all night. Okay, right, I'm going to shut up now. Right, let's look at our next number, where we're going to... This one's got a completely different feel to it. We still have a tiny bit of melancholy coming in, look, with these minor chords here. But if you have a look at the verses, they really pop, don't they, in terms of kind of the colours. We've got bright yellow and bright orange. So that means that it's going to be a happy sounding chord, happy sounding song, because we've got happy sounding chords, both major chords. It's also doing something that a lot of folk music and pop music does, where it just changes between the 1 and 4 chord, because 1 makes you feel at home, 4 chord gives you a sense of change. And you can really clearly see that. It's almost like one after the other, isn't it? Like a zebra crossing here, which is great. Fran says I'm on a roll. I'll tell you some more dad jokes at the end. But oh, Sonia says numbers would be numbers 2 would be 1, 3 would be 2, etc. Use the word measure to. Oh, do you mean which fingers I use, Sonia? I think I get it. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Sure. Not a problem. Okay. Oh, and Anthony's saying, right on, we all chat and make loads of noise. Heard that one before, Matt, but still funny. Good. Okay, sorry guys, back to the chords. So we just go in between the 1 and the 4 chord. This song's in the key of G. So G is going to be our 1 chord. G, A, B, C is going to be our 4 chord. Okay. All right. Oh gosh, we're in trouble now. Anthony says, a man walks into a library and asks, do you have books on the history of pantomime? And the librarian says, they're behind you. I genuinely haven't heard that one, Anthony. I like that. Right, that's going in my list of dad jokes. Okay, now, there's one thing that makes this a little bit tricky, and it's the timing. So notice we've got G's and C's, but some of the boxes are small and some of them are quite big. So a big full-size box is 4 beats, and then a little box is 2 beats because it's half a measure, half a box, if that makes sense. So that word sounds something like this. A measure of G, 1, 2, 3, 4. Half a measure of C, so 1, 2, and then back to G. Now, rather than thinking, can you see that second G? It has a small box and a big box, which would equal 6 if you had them together. But the best thing to do, rather than thinking about it as 6, just think of it as this pattern. I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. The next line starts the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's easy to follow, isn't it? Because you just think play 4 Gs, 2 Cs, 2 Gs, and you can keep that going round. And that's basically what happens for the first 3 parts of this verse. And then at the end, we've got a measure and a half of C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Another half a measure and back to G. So it's like it's reversed itself. You've got a longer C. And then a G. Okay? So it'll take a bit of time to get used to it, but once you get into the rhythm, you'll be absolutely fine. There's all sorts of fun patterns you can do with this one, but I'm going to keep it really straightforward. It's quite a quick strum on this one. Let me come in close, Cam. I would think about it as walk, running, running, running. Okay? Walk, running, running, running. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. It's basically the island strum, but we're not swinging it. Okay? So down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. When you get to the chords that are just 2 beats each, you could just do downs. Or down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, whatever works for you, as long as you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, C and G. 1, 2, 3, 4, C and G, and then the long C at the end. You might also find it easier with the lyrics because that kind of will show you where to change as well. So let me put a verse together with the lyrics so you can see over here how that works on the left. So the reason I'm laughing is we've got loads of jokes coming through now and I love that. Jane is saying a chicken and a frog walk into a library. The chicken says book, book, book. So the library gives them 3 books. The frog says, read it, read it, read it. Very good, very good. Oh, that's a good one. I didn't realise how many library jokes there were. Gosh, you'd think I'd know all these, wouldn't you? Brilliant. Okay, right, let me do a verse so you can hear what I'm on about. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we were travelling on a Chester road. A lorry driver picking up a load said, "Where you heading, boys? You need a ride." We said, "We're heading down south," and we jumped inside. I'll do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we were travelling on a Chester road. A lorry driver picking up a load said, "Where you heading, boys? You need a ride." We said, "We're heading down south," and we jumped inside. Okay. So it just takes a bit of thinking about where you are with those chords, and just to make it complicated, he does change it on every verse. There's a couple of changes which you'll see later on, but don't worry, you'll get it. Okay. By the way, this song Down South was written, it's actually pre-Beatles in terms of what he's talking about. He wrote this song in memory of hanging out with George Harrison. They used to hitchhike down south, so down to the south coast and places like London. So this is about talking about going south from Liverpool on the Chester Road and hitchhiking our way. So this is pre-Beatles, this memory, which is really nice. Okay, now the chorus we have it's quite sweet, but we have the melancholy minors coming in. I'll talk about these two verses in a minute. It's really easy, you'll soon get it. Okay, but the chorus, notice we get that A minor coming in, gives a sense of change, but also a lot more melancholy. And then the E minor is the 6th chord in the key of G. So often you get 2-5 combinations in music, but you can also get a 2-1. 2-6. 2-6. It was a good way to get to know you. It was a fine way to work it all out. It was a good way to get to know you. And then notice when we go to the C chord, it just lightens everything up. When we were working our way down south. And then look at this. Red, orange, yellow. Does that look familiar? Red, orange, yellow. Well, if we go back to our first song. Look at this. Red, orange, yellow. It's the 5-4-1 combination again. Remember, 5 makes us want to go back to 1. And if we take a journey back to 1 via the 4 chord, the orange chord, it creates a really nice sense of movement, which is lovely. Laura's saying, can you use finger 1 for A minor to change to E minor? Yeah, absolutely, Laura. If it feels more comfortable, if you use that first finger for A minor, then you can drop down like so. Absolutely. Another little tip that I meant to give you on the verses, when you're changing quickly between G and C, like in the first verse, try keeping your second finger down as you play the C chord. Let me show you that in slow motion. Do you see how, because when I hit that C chord, I've got 2 fingers down, I can pivot on this finger to get back to the G. Makes it much easier. All right, so just have a think about that. Anytime you go in between G and C, that's quite a nice little thing to do. On the song as well, when we hit this 5-4-1 at the end, you get this really nice, Paul kind of hams it up. I think he's kind of doing almost like a George Harrison backing vocal, or maybe even a John Lennon one. We get this, oh yeah, down south, on the D, C, G bit at the end, which is really lovely. Let's try one verse into a chorus just so you can see how it works. Let me flip the page so you can see. So let's try this first verse into the first chorus, just to have a practice at it. And I'll stay on close cam. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we were travelling on the Chester roads. A lorry driver picking up a load said, "Where you heading, boys? You need a ride." Well, we're heading down south and we jumped inside. It was a good way to get to know you. It was a fine way to work it all out. It was a good way to get to know you as we were making our way down south. Oh yeah, oh yeah, down south. Again, if you want to add that little finger for that sus chord on G, it sounds really nice. And then you can go to another verse. That's a nice way of filling out the sound, which is really sweet. Now we're most of the way there. The second verse, it's pretty much identical as the first verse. Only after you play the G, we've got a quick E minor. I've written it out so you can see it on the page here. So these chords are exactly the same as these, only there's a little E minor at the end. So every time he goes to the chorus, it has a slightly different feel. It kind of sets up the A minor, which is really nice. Okay, so look out for that. Let's have a try of verse 2 going into the chorus. Okay, I'll come in and close cam again. So the second verse now on the left-hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4. The morning bus was where we two would meet. I sat beside you on an empty seat. We'd talk about guitars and rock and roll. They were the subjects that would never grow old. E minor. It was a good way to get to know you. See that sneaky E minor at the end? Now, I've got a tip here as well, because it goes from G to E minor quite quick. It's a lot of rearranging, right? Remember my little trick that we've done before? G to E minor, just pop your little finger down on the 4th fret of the C string, second one down. That allows you, because this finger cancels this one out, you can leave this one on. See how it looks like an E minor? So rather than this, you can do this. Okay. So that makes the end of that verse. They were the subjects that would never grow old. A lot easier changing to that E minor. Was a good way to get to know you. Okay, so that's something to think about as well. Anytime you go from a G to an E minor, that's a really neat change. And then finally, just to make sure you're really paying attention, on verse 2, actually it should say verse 3, sorry, I'm all over the place this week apparently. brain malfunction, I think. This time on the next verse, notice we've got a measure of A minor and then a measure of E minor at the end. I sometimes wonder, I could be wrong, but I sometimes wonder if he did that by mistake, because the chorus starts with A minor, E minor, and I wonder if he, when he was recording it, went one too soon to the chorus and thought, oh well, I'll make a thing of it. I don't know, it's possible, that does happen sometimes in music. But yeah, just notice this A minor, E minor. So one more verse and we'll put it together. If we do this one here, just look out for it just down the end here. I'll play it for you once. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. The lorry went as far as he could go and dropped us off beside a busy road. We had to find somewhere to stay the night, but we knew it would be alright. It was a good way to get to know you. Into the chorus, right? Sorry, I muddled up my words there. I couldn't read quick enough, but yeah, you get the idea. Now that's basically it. I think you'll be absolutely fine on this one. Nothing too complex going on here. I did record a backing track if you wanted to have a go at doing a solo here. And the place I'd like to place the solo for anyone that wants to try it is after this second chorus, okay? So in the gap between where it says before we learn to twist and shout and this verse, the one that says the lorry went as far as he could go, what we're going to do is we're going to place an instrumental verse and an instrumental chorus there. And that will allow you to try a little solo, because it's really nice, isn't it, doing a bit of improv on these songs sometimes. So in effect, what we'll have is intro, which is just a G chord. And we'll have verse, chorus, instrumental verse, instrumental chorus, verse, chorus, and then this little interlude in the outro, which is just A minor, E minor. Okay. Now, if you want to do a little solo for this one, because we're in the key of G, you can use the G major pentatonic or the E minor pentatonic. In fact, you could use the full G major scale if you wanted to. To kind of add a bit more sophistication into it. But these work great. Let me come in down close, Cam. So the reason that these both work is the E minor pentatonic is all the same notes as the G major pentatonic, only starting from E rather than G. So G major, we always start these scales just in terms of showing you where to place your fingers on the C string, because on most ukuleles that's the lowest note on your ukulele. Some people will have a low G, I've got a high G today, but that one's normally your lowest note. So what we do is we play the 7th fret way up here of the C string for a G note. Okay. Then we go up to the 9th fret here for this A note, back down to the 7th fret on the next string. This time we go up to the next dot, this D note, and then again the dots, E and D here. So from the C string you're going 7, 9, 7, 10. Notice that pattern. Small gap, big gap, big gap. Okay. And this is your My Girl one, just for Indrani, if she's still there. I got sunshine. Okay. Now you can combine that with the E minor pentatonic. That kind of looks almost symmetrical, doesn't it? Not quite a mirror version, but close. And this one goes from the 4th fret of the C string up to that 7th. That's E and G. Then we go the dots down here at 5 and 7. A to B and then D to E here. So this time we've got big gap, little gap, little gap. And if you can start envisaging those patterns, it makes it really a lot easier to solo in these keys, which is a really cool thing. Really empowering, right? And remember, what you can do is just remember some of the notes. So like this 5, 7, 5, 7 on the E and A strings. You can do a lot just with those 4 notes. Or you could do your dots on the E string, next one's across, 7, 10. And you can hit those notes in any order. Just remember, in the past we've talked about phrasing, allowing the phrases to breathe. So think about soloing in sentences. A few notes, have a little pause, and then another few notes, have a little pause, and that will sound really nice. Let me do play the backing track, and I'll just noodle so you can see how it works. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's check this. Okay. So I'll do it, here's the scales. Whoops, sorry. Okay, now what you can do, let me just pause this. What you can do if you want to get a bit more sophisticated, which is really good fun, is if you do the first half of the solo, use this this position and this position for the next half, you get a really nice juxtaposition. because as you go up and down the scales a little bit, it sounds more minory, which is nice. I'll show you what I mean. Let me just play the backing track. So just by changing between, oh, hang on. So just by changing between those shapes, you can get like a real nice kind of juxtaposition, which is lovely. Okay, let me play the chords so you can have a go at that if you want to practice a little solo, and then we'll put it all together and we'll do the whole song. So let me just get this right size. There we go. That's better, isn't it? And I'll put these shapes up so you can copy. So I'll be your backing band. Have a little noodle around with these notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, should we put it all together then, folks? Let's do it. So just as one last reminder, we're going to play the intro. Where it says NC, that just means no chords. So we muck about on a G for a bit, roll a G, and then just pause, and then come in on the first verse. I'll give you a count of 4. So it'll sound like this. 2, 3, 4. While we were travelling on a Chester road. Okay, just so you know where to join in. Let's try the whole thing, and we're going to do verse, chorus, and then remember we're going to add an instrumental verse and chorus in here, and then verse, chorus, and then that interlude in the outro. Let's do it. We might play us through a couple of times tonight because we've done really well on timing tonight, so let's enjoy it. Okay, from the start then. 1, 2, 3, 4, G. Well, we were travelling on the Chester road. A lorry driver picking up a load said, "Where you heading, boys? You need a ride." We said, "We're heading down south," and we jumped inside. It was a good way to get to know you, a fine way to work it all out. It was a good way to get to know you as we were making our way down south. Oh yeah, down south. The morning bus went where we had to meet. I sat beside you on an empty seat. We talk about guitars and rock and roll. They were the subjects that would never grow old. It was a good way to get to know you, a fine way to work it all out. It was a good way to get to know you, so we were working our way down south. Oh yeah, down south. Sorry, I got the words all wrong there. Instrumental. Those pentatonics. but we knew that we would be alright. It was a good way to get to know you. It was a fine way to work it all out. It was a good way to get to know you as we were bombing around down south. Oh yeah, oh yeah, down south. Now our little interlude, A minor, E minor. And again. It was a good way to get to know you as we were bombing around down south. Cool song, isn't it? Sorry, I got the words all wrong in the middle there. I'm gonna move this so I can actually see what I'm singing a bit higher. Oh, what is it? A bad workman always blames his tools. I'm blaming this. And then there we go. I couldn't read the words twist and shout because you guys don't see is I've got all these little buttons all over my screen so that I can do things like introduce your comments and stuff. And annoyingly, sometimes they get right in the way of words when I'm trying to read them on the screen. Okay, right, one more time. Let's give that another bash, and then I'll stick around at the end for any questions or any comments, and I'll chat about a couple of the things that we've got coming up. A couple of exciting plans to tell you about for next year as well. So stick around after we've done this, but let's try this one more time and I'll try and get the words right this time as well. Okay, thanks everyone that's been here tonight and supported me this week. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Well, we were travelling on a Chester road. A lorry driver picking up a load said, "Where you heading, boys? You need a ride." We said, "We're heading down south," and we jumped inside. It was a good way to get to know you, a fine way to work it all out. It was a good way to get to know you as we were making our way down south. Oh yeah, oh yeah, down south. The morning bus was where we two would meet. I sat beside you on an empty seat. We talk about guitars and rock and roll. They were the subjects that would never grow old. It was a good way to get to know you, a fine way to work it all out. It was a good way to get to know you before we learned to twist and shout. Oh yeah, oh yeah, before we learned to twist and shout. Try an instrumental. He could go and dropped us off beside a busy road. We had to find somewhere to stay the night, but we knew that we would be alright. It was a good way to get to know you, a fine way to work it all out. It was a good way to get to know you as we were bombing around down south. Oh yeah, oh yeah, down south. It was a good way to get to know you as we were bombing around down south. Fantastic. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I love these songs. As I say, it's a great album. If anyone's interested, not just those two songs. It is really, really fantastic. Cool sleeve as well. Look, it's got all the Beatles as they were kids and some of Paul's relatives, and yeah, them hanging out. It's like a nice. A nice cool, a nice cool sleeve, isn't it? Lovely. Anthony's saying, "Oh, Fran's been invaded by the grandkids. That's the best kind of invasion, right?" Love it. Laura, did the pentatonic work well? Yes, fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And Anthony's saying, did Paul travel down my way? Chester Road is just a couple of miles away from me. Roman. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if this would have been prior the M5 existing. I think it might have been, mightn't it? When they used to do all these gigs all over the place. If you ever watch the anthology where they talk about the early days, it always really surprises me how badly they planned out their concerts. They'd be playing like Liverpool one night, Brighton the next day, and then like somewhere on the East Coast the next day after that. It made no sense. Rather than doing a nice tour of the UK, they'd be like this. I guess wherever you could get gigs. I remember the other way around. My band were based in Bristol. We were never as big as the Beatles, as you might have imagined. But we used to play gigs up in Liverpool, and that always felt like an epic journey. There's a brilliant story that Mal Evans used to tell before he passed away. He was the Beatles roadie, and he was driving this like rickety old van with the Beatles in the back seat, and couldn't see anything. The fog was so bad. So what Mal did was he actually punched out the windscreen that was getting all fogged up and drove without a windscreen at all. And the Beatles had to lie on each other in the back, one on top of the other, like this, on the back seat, trying to stay warm. And they had a bottle of whiskey, and they'd shared this bottle of whiskey. But the thing that I loved is they said they take it in turns to be at the bottom, and then when one had had enough of being at the bottom, they'd lie in the top. So yeah. Oh yeah, no motorways in the early 60s. There you go. So I mean, you know, I remember those journeys up from Bristol to Liverpool, and they weren't much fun even with the motorways. But without them, I mean, it's a long old drive, isn't it? Long old drive, absolutely. Pam saying needs to go and listen to the album now. Yeah, go and enjoy it. It's a really fantastic album. There's some really brilliant songs on there. I love Macca. His latest stuff, people, I kind of, in my humble opinion, people don't kind of really give it the credit where credit's due. I was listening to Memory Almost Full last night. And that was, I think it was 2007, and that's a fantastic album as well. I think I enjoy this one more just because the sound production's a bit better, but his later albums are fantastic. I really enjoy them. I love how kind of a bit mad he is as well, you know, like McCartney 2 way back when. It's like sometimes you've got this perfect pop song, then you've got a ballad, and then you've got like mad bit of electronica. He was pretty crazy, wasn't he? Paul McCartney back in the day. Well, thanks for that, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's tell you about a couple of things coming up, just so if you're interested. I've already been hinting at it, but I'm really hoping that next year is going to be the year where we get our Beatles Day Out going. So as soon as it's all booked, we're trying to get hold of the Cavern Club at the moment to speak to someone. What I'm intending on doing is a day out in Liverpool where we're going to have a ukulele Beatles day, basically. And my idea was we'd hire the Magical Mystery Tour, which is like this big bus ride, takes you around all the Beatles related sites. So you go to Penny Lane, Strawberry Fields, you get to visit their houses where they grew up, and then We'll have a spot lunch. We'll go to the Beatles Museum down at the Albert Dock, which is a fantastic place. Bring your credit card because they have the most amazing shop full of Beatles merchandise. And then after that, in the evening, we'll go to the Cavern Club and you'll get to actually play on stage where Paul McCartney has played. How cool is that? So I'm arranging it all at the moment. I'm hoping it's going to be next spring or next summer, so keep in touch for that. I'm also planning another new event as well, which is going to be in place of the ukulele retreats. Don't worry, we're not getting rid of them. We're just changing the format slightly, and I've found a really nice new venue in Tewkesbury, which is my hometown growing up, and lots of you will know it's this beautiful Tudor town with Tudor buildings, black and white buildings, and one of the last Norman churches. Most of them got burnt down by Henry VIII, and the townspeople clubbed together and saved Tewkesbury Abbey. So that's worth checking out as well. And it's really easy to get to. We've got walks along the river. It's going to be amazing. So that's going to be, I think we're going to do that slightly earlier in the year. I think we're looking at June or July for that one. So check it out. Still tickets available for the Ukulele Festival of Great Britain, and I think we've got 3 left for the retreat as well, the Forest Ukulele Retreat. If anyone's interested in coming along for that, it should be loads and loads of fun. It's a bit of a long-winded website, the original one, ukulelefestivalofgreatbritain.com. So I've created a new website, just takes you to the same place, but UFOGB. That's all you've got to remember, right? UFOGB.com. And that'll take you. Go and get your tickets. All the workshops are available now, and those are booking up fast as well. So you can check out the workshops that are available with that too. If anyone wants to come on a cruise with me, we think next year is probably going to be the last one. So do come and join us if you're interested. And Donna let me know last week that there's 3 single cabins available. So if anyone's travelling on their own and they don't want to pay for a full double cabin, this year we've got single cabins available, and we've only got 3 left. So get in quickly if you're interested. You don't have to pay it up front, just pay Donna a deposit. She's a fully qualified travel agent and she sorts everything out, and she's an amazing person too, which helps. Email down the bottom there, dcurtis@bownet.ca. So this might be a last chance to come along. Honestly, for me, and I know it sounds like I'm just selling it, but honestly, for me and my family who came along, it was like a trip of a lifetime both times. It was magnificent. So come along and yeah, you'll love it. You'll love it. It's an absolutely superb thing to do. So yeah, that's booking up now, and that's for February next year. So get in touch with Donna if you want to book your places for that. There's also a lady that's looking for a cabin mate as well, I think, on one of the double rooms as well, if anyone wants to share. Di saying, learning so much from my book, truly appreciate it, having it in my library, and now listen to songs in a very different way that allows me to truly hear what chord feeling it brings. That's amazing, Di. That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. So this is from my colours book. Thanks, Di. Which is, if you enjoy Kanikapila and the way things work with the colours, this explains it in a lot of detail. So it explains all the different colours, why I chose them, and you get this whole colour system basically, which kind of explains it using these colour wheels as well as our Kanikapila system, which is really good fun. Explanation of the circle of fifths and all that stuff. But once you've got that, there are loads of songs written out as well, with an explanation of the song journey and then all the colours. So you can really kind of get a feeling for how these songs work. It's available at Amazon now, from all good bookshops and on Amazon. Just look up How to See Colours in Music. There's also, I've got copies available to sell that I'll be bringing to the festivals and things that I'm doing as well. And then Anthony, thank you, mate. You guys are brilliant. You're like my UK ambassadors. Really looking forward to it. So I'm doing a one-day event in Birmingham next month, which I'm super excited about. Here we go. And I'm doing this with the brilliant Matt Parkin, who does the awesome Ukulele Academy. He's the guy that puts on the Spanish ukulele retreat, which is absolutely fantastic. Well worth checking out as well. And this is Saturday, 18th of July here in the UK. It's 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And we're going to teach you finger style, how to build your own musical arrangements. We're going to have a little masterclass. And there's also a chance to do some little open mic performances and performing as a group as well. So dead excited about this. This is next month, in about a month's time, 18th of July, 11 o'clock, and that's at the Eagle and Ball, which is in Birmingham. So really easy to get to in the UK, which is fantastic. That's great, Anthony. Anthony's been working on the colours for Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, and that's a really hard song to do. So that's absolutely brilliant. So yeah. Oh, and apparently it looks like good beer. Oh, no, I'll be driving. I'll stick to the Coca-Cola, but you should have a nice beer, Anthony, for sure. Right, okay, I think I'm going to love you and leave you guys. I hope you've had a fantastic night. I certainly have. It's been really, really wonderful. Remember, we'll be back next Monday. Oh, I didn't actually tell you. I was going to get you guys to guess. Next Monday, we are doing songs to celebrate the summer solstice, because we're nearly, believe it or not, the half point of the year. So we've got the summer solstice coming up on the 21st of July. So next Monday we're going to do 2 sun related songs. We've got Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles, one that we've looked at before, but we're going to go into it in a lot of detail. And we've also got one of my all-time favourite songs that I think you're going to absolutely love, Saturday Sun by Nick Drake, and it is beautiful, really easy chords to play, but really unusual choices, and they're gorgeous. Really, really worth checking out that. So that's going to be next Monday. Sheets available to everyone as always. And then remember, check out the website, because we've got our lovely Learn Ukulele Club, which is going to start with its inaugural night, Wednesday 1st of July, which is only a couple of weeks away now, isn't it? So super, super exciting. I'll be talking more about that soon on social media and everything, explaining how it's going to all work and all the details. I think that's it. Come and join me at learnukulele.com, where you get the 10 courses. As you guys know, most of you are members already, I think, anyway. 10 sequential courses. You get to join the Learn Ukulele Club, which will allow you to join our monthly night as well, that we're going to be doing soon. And all sorts of other stuff, hundreds of arrangements. I'm blabbing on, so I'm going to say goodbye. Take care, everyone. Much love. Thanks for all your support again, and I'll see you next Monday. Cheers, guys. Bye.